Well, another very warm welcome back, all my vintage dirt bike loving YouTubers, and thanks to you all once more for retuning to classic dirt bike TV, and of course a very big thanks to all the brand new subscribers who have recently signed up to my channel, which takes our current total to about 11,500 subscribers. So we must be doing something right here at Classic Dirt Bike TV if you're continuing to subscribe to my channel. So thanks to each and every one of you for your commitment. Okay, coming up in this next video, we're going to show you a couple of very nice looking RM Suzuki twin shock bikes that I captured at the 2019 Telford Classic Dirt Bike Show. Now these are a couple of really nice looking bikes, and I think these belonged to that Suzuki legend Jan Geboers. So we're going to take a look at a couple of his lovely Suzukis now. So I do hope you enjoy this little video clip. So without any further delay, let's just jump straight into the video. Now this very nice pair of RM Suzukis were on display on Jan Geboers' stand at the 2019 Telford Classic Dirt Bike Show, and although one of the bikes certainly had his name on it, I think the other bike actually belonged to another Suzuki legend, Werner de Witt, because it had his race number stamped on it, and I do remember the actual bike when it was raced at the Vets MXDN event at Farleigh Castle a few years back. Now, whether both these bikes were for sale or just to help promote Jan's Suzuki parts that he was selling over the course of the weekend, I'm not entirely sure, but there's certainly a couple of beauties, that's for sure, with all their upgraded trick Suzuki parts bolted on. Now you can almost guarantee that these big 500 two-stroke Suzy motors are not your run-of-the-mill standard 500s, because if the likes of Jan Geboers and Werner de Witt were the pilots of these machines, then they'll almost definitely have been treated to factory equivalent merchandise. Although there's no mistaking the power of these big reed valve power plants, and I've personally witnessed Werner de Witt on this bike racing at Farleigh Castle. I think there's already a video of this bike in action at the Farleigh Castle event on the track in a previous posting, which is certainly worth a look if you're interested. But as to the actual year of both of these bikes, I haven't really got a clue, as there's so many trick parts and other improvements being done to both of these machines. It's quite hard to actually date them. Now the bike's fuel tanks and seats are of course not your original RM Suzuki parts, and have been more than likely been manufactured specifically for both of these top class riders, although you have to admit they certainly add a little bit of class to the finished bikes, and these lovely bikes were certainly drawing the crowds over the course of the 2 days of the Telford Classic Dirt Bike Show. But it would have been quite good to get a few words with Jan over the course of the day that I grabbed these clips, although he was kept very busy selling his Suzuki spares and chatting to the many visitors who were passing by his stall. Although everything about these bikes was just top quality, and you can see that they had these billet aluminium CNC machined top triple clamps, which of course replaced the Suzuki originals. And now a set of bar risers here have been fitted, probably to suit Werner's height and riding style. And as you can see, another good indication that this was Werner de Witt's machine, with the famous number 12 that he raced at Farleigh Castle back in the day. And like I said, an absolutely beautiful looking bike, and of course extremely quick as well. Now I'd wager that these front forks have undergone internal works as well, because as you'd expect, your standard RM 500 suspension units wouldn't be good enough for these guys to handle. Although it looks like the bike's front brakes are more or less RM 500 standard braking units, just to keep them in line with the twin shock racing wheels of course, and it looks like a new upgraded expansion chamber has also been fitted to this Werner race bike. But it was a bit of a shame that I couldn't access the bikes properly to get a better look at them, but there were so many people passing in front of the camera on the day to take a look at these race bikes, and I think I was fortunate to even get this footage that I did get, so I suppose that's quite lucky in that respect. Now, also on display, Jan had one of his old Suzuki motors, but whether this was up for sale or for display purposes only, I'm not really sure, although how cool would that be if you could buy one of these iconic motors and then stick it in your old RM Suzuki frame. That would certainly get the conversation started over a few beers with your mates when you told them that you had one of Jan Geboers' engines in your bike. But again, you can almost guarantee that this motor has had some exotic tuning done and some fancy parts fitted into it, and my guess is that this was just for people to have a look at and was not really for sale on the day. But to be fair, Jan did spare a few seconds so that I could snap a couple of pictures of him with his Suzuki motor, although like I said, he was much too busy to have a chat on the day, but it was still cool just to get a couple of pictures and take a gander at his lovely bikes. Although if you're into your vintage racing and in general just like looking at old classic dirt bikes, then make a point of visiting this Telford Classic Dirt Bike Show, which is normally held around February each year, although because of the pandemic it's been rescheduled to September in 2021, so hopefully it'll still go ahead on that date, and if it does, who knows, we may bump into each other as we stroll among the hundreds of machines at this fantastic event. But you have to say that these pair of Suzukis were a couple of belters, and it doesn't really matter what make or model of bike you're into, whether it be two-stroke or four-stroke, because this Telford show has something for absolutely everybody, and it's also a very good opportunity to meet some of the legends that raced these bikes back in the day. Because when you're strolling around the Telford centre, reliving all the old dirt bikes that you had from your past youth and seeing race bikes that you've never seen for years, you think you've seen absolutely everything. And then just around that very next corner is another classic from your past, and this pair of RM Suzukis are a perfect example of the kind of quality bikes they have on show. But of course, if you're in the market to add another racing classic to your particular collection, then don't forget to bring your cash, because you just might find the bike of your dreams. And so there you have it, a lovely pair of RM 500 Suzukis that were sitting on Jan Geboers' stand at the 2019 Telford Classic Dirt Bike Show, and just a small glimpse into the very high quality merchandise that you can see at this event. So please put the September date in your calendar for 2021. Well, I hope you enjoyed that very short video featuring a couple of those beautiful looking RM 500 Suzukis from the famous Jan Geboers. And of course, if you ever get a chance to attend the Telford Classic Dirt Bike Show, then please do, because it's a full weekend of looking at classic dirt bikes such as these that we've just seen from Jan Geboers, and it's a fantastic weekend. So if you ever get a chance to take a look at the Telford show, then please make a point. Okay, coming up in this next video, we're going to take a look at Robert Kennedy's 1960s Villiers Star Maker cotton. And this is a lovely, it's almost original bike from back in the day, and a very quick machine to boot. So we're going to take a look at Robert's little cotton Star Maker in my next video clip. So I do hope you'll join me for that. But until then, of course, everybody continue to keep safe and well, and we'll all get together once again when we want to talk about vintage racers right here on your favourite Classic Dirt Bike TV channel.